Happy Halloween.
It's an absurd holiday.
Oh yes, putting on costumes and striking fear. Quite absurd.
All it takes is one bad day.
You've eaten Gotham's wealth, its spirit, but your feast is nearly over.
This is not my home. It's an operating table. And I'm the surgeon.
Why aren't you laughing?
From this moment on, none of you are safe.
Welcome to the Batman Book Club, a podcast exploring the Dark Knight Library. I'm your host, Ryan Lauer. Batman Book Club is a proud member of the Batman Podcast Network, hosted by Batman on Film. Just go to batmanonfilm.com, click on podcasts, and you'll find the Batman Podcast Network that has a whole list of other Bat-related shows that also like to dive into other nerdy subjects that all of us, especially in the spooky season, love to frolic about in our spare time, including Peter
It's such
Verra.
a stupid thing to say. You can't even say it.
So anyways, the Batman Book Club is also on Patreon. So if you want to help support the show and join those others who have been so kind and generous in supporting the show and keep the generators running in the Wayne Manor study, just go to patreon.com/thebatmanbc. Now, thank you for listening to episode 171, Batman in October. We're ending the month of spookiness and scary and Halloween boo. Looking at the Batman comics that came out this month, some tricks, some treats, and the man joining me is the man who joins me every month for this celebration of Batman comicdom, and you actually just heard him on the last episode. It's one Sir Peter R. Verra. Hello, Peter.
Hello, Lauer. How are you?
Great. Always good talking to you.
It's okay.
It's
You're all
okay.
right. Sometimes
It's okay.
Sometimes when you want to talk, when you're not on vacation,
When
Ryan wants to speak to you, you know.
when you give me some phone calls, it's fun because then I think about like, man, Pete and I really are on our best behavior when we're recording in comparison to those phone calls.
There you go.
We do some good nerd talking. No more nerdy than when we get behind the mic together to talk some new Batman comics. So Pete, I don't have much.
We still got to do that Hulk book club. We still haven't got that.
Oh yeah,
Christmas thing.
yeah. Okay, sure.
We'll get to that.
If anybody out there would like to take my spot on the Hulk book club, just go ahead and reach out to Pete and let him know. And you've got it. It's yours.
I'm really good at replacing co-hosts these days.
Yeah, maybe Holzman will want to do the Hulk book club. There you go. All right, Pete. Let's get to it. Let's talk about some new Batman comics released in October. As we always have to do when we do these wrap-ups, because usually it's every, the first Tuesday of every month. It is the newest Batman title book, and I forget how we did this last month in going with the Gotham War. Did we just go week to week in the issue and talk about it, or did we talk it all in one big lump
I
sum?
believe you talked about Gotham War in one lump.
Do you want to do that this time? You want to go week to week?
It's your show. It's up to you.
It's my show. Okay, we're gonna go one by one because I kind of forget also what happened in each issue.
This guy.
So the first Tuesday in October, we had Batman issue 138. That was part 4 of Batman Catwoman, the Gotham War. Let's see. We got a little bit of I guess story with Vandal Savage thrown in here. We got a little Robins fighting each other action, expanding the story from what we've gotten so far. It's kind of fuzzy to me, Pete, because like I know I just said this. I kind of forget what's happening in like each issue. I think I was a little more on board last month than this month.
Why aren't you paying attention? What has your attention so focused that it's off Batman? What are you doing? What are you doing?
Reading Batman comics.
I don't think he is. I think Lauer's a liar. I don't think you're
Well,
reading Batman comics anymore.
I think what I needed to do for this was kind of just jot down each issue after I wrote it, some notes.
I
So
think
that
you're
they were
reading
a little
X-Men
fresh.
comics. That's what I think you're doing.
I would never cross the Mason Dixon line and go to the Marvel side. Never.
Wow, you sound like Rob
Over
Myers.
Batman.
Rob was like,
uh,
I've read a book since '94. I'm like, really? Wow, that's
well,
interesting.
well, I mean, this was just more like family infighting, um, which is fine. But then then there's some more Zur and R coming in, and like Batman has changed because Zur, in which now it's just cool. It's just Zur. Refer
See
to
how stupid this
Zur.
thing is getting? It's getting shorter and shorter.
Yeah. Um, I don't know, like good art, but I think the chapter overall, I'm just like prolonging it. I think it was fine. It I guess for a what's inevitably going to be end up being like what, like a 7 or 8 part series story overall. This is one I guess you needed to up the drama and the infighting, and they literally were fighting, and they plant that seed of like, man, something's wrong with Bruce, because he was gonna like leave. He netted Robin and Nightwing, and then left them for the police, and then at the last second he threw a batarang to release them. So I
Yeah.
don't know. What'd you think?
I really like this issue. I thought this was good. This seems like a really fun time for me. Vandal Savage, Ra's al Ghul, Batman infighting. Like, I was all about it. Like, I've really enjoyed Gotham War to begin with. So,
Okay.
there's some stupid parts of it, like Skittles Batman, but overall, I've really enjoyed.
His name's Zur.
This run. It's called crap. That's what it's called.
Zur.
And I really dig it. I'm still trying to figure out the whole Jason Todd thing, like what the hell Bruce did to Jason Todd. Maybe I think that we talk about that more in an upcoming issue, but that was fascinating to me. I'm still like in awe of what's her name being Vandal Savage's daughter. I thought that was a pretty cool move. Everything they've done in Gotham War is really cool. I like how at last minute he let Nightwing and Robin escape so they're not caught by the police, so he's still in there. I think this is good. I'm really impressed with Zdarsky. He was able to do what V hasn't do, and that's turn his really bad Batman story into something I want to read.
Minus Zur.
Overall, like no story's perfect, so there's some issues, but like I overall like this. Like, yeah, Zur sucks, but
Yeah. Well, I'm going through, and I don't know. When this gets released again, it's definitely one, which I guess I can save it as we move on. But when it's collected, I'll read it again, like all collected too, because it does just get me a little like hesitation of trying to remember what happened. But yeah, this one was I think I gave it a good review on BOF too. So, and that was right after I read it. So there we go. I'm sounding down on it, but it's all right. It's fine.
okay.
Anyways, there we go. We'll get back to the Gotham War momentarily. Let's move along to something that wrapped up, Pete. Batman: The Adventures Continue, Season 3, Issue number 8. And as far as I think, it had to be Paul Dini tweeted out something about like this was going to be like this was it. I think, even though the end of the issue kind of says something about like for now or whatever, as classic comic books always do. I'm there right now. Let's see. The adventures continue. ... That just might be a nice little way to say, I'm like,
They always
this
continue.
world will always continue or something.
Yeah.
But I love the nod of the cover. It's a nod to the very first issue in the 90s that was Penguin overlooking the city. And instead this one, it's Ra's overlooking Batman in the city. So go ahead. You can kick this one off.
No, I enjoyed it. It was a nice little capper. I interpret it as this is the end for now. We'll see where we are later. Like, let the creative juices flowing so Paul and Burnett can come up with some ideas.
Yeah,
but this is cool. Nice little showdown. You get a little Penguin, you get a little Scarecrow, little Clayface, Two-Face. Everyone seems to make an appearance in the final.
Yeah,
issue.
Everybody's here.
I enjoyed it. This has been. I think there's probably been maybe 1 or 2 issues I didn't dig, but this has been probably one of the most consistent books, Batman wise, that we've been doing for the last 8 months. So I've enjoyed this. Every month I look forward to it. Like I said earlier, the adventures always continue, right?
Always.
What was the last volume called? The Batman. Was it the Adventures? I guess they just changed
2.
Season 3. Okay.
Yeah.
I was wondering if they did a cute name word play on there. I was wondering what they would do. The adventures continue again.
Again.
But I'm
Never
looking
stop,
forward.
never
Yeah,
stopping.
season 4 will probably come out within a couple years, and we'll all enjoy it and read it then. But this is a nice little addition to the legacy of BTAS.
Yeah. Yeah, I found this one, or this issue specifically, was a lot of fun. And like you said, kind of like everybody showed up, because I really love like the page where they come to all the villains and stuff in cages.
Yeah.
Like that was really cool. And then yeah, a nice big fight broke out in the following pages and stuff. I thought that was a lot of fun. So yeah, I'm with you on like this was definitely each month that one of these issues was coming out, it was one to look forward to, because I mean it does get you a little giddy to return to that universe in some fashion. And I thought the stories are pretty strong overall. Yeah, and like you, there's maybe, for this round, maybe like 1 or 2 issues that I didn't hate, but I was like, this is fine. Just fine. But yeah, pretty fun overall. I look forward to this also being collected in a paperback to join, all the others collected and on the shelf, probably in the thicker paper that will smell delicious, and also this universe prints very well on to hold like darks and blacks and stuff. So that's it for the first Tuesday in October, Pete. So let's move to the second one, October 10th, and more so one that I was looking forward to because I'm all in usually on Batman Black Label stories, and Christian Ward's Black Label story, Batman City of Madness, book 1, came out on October 10th. I don't know anything about what you think of this book because I have actively avoided asking you about it or anything.
Actively avoided my phone calls for the last week and a half. Correct. Yes.
Yes, Pete calls a lot. Let's see.
Overall, I would call less if Ryan actually answered the phone.
I
Then I could just tell him what I had to tell him.
I liked this issue. Now I'm kind of like, because it's very interesting. It's Christian Ward has been on social media talking about basically like how big of an influence Arkham Asylum, Serious House and Serious Earth was to this. I can definitely see those influences all over the place, and it's almost like some of the art feels a little abstract and a little interesting, that it's not like my style, but also I wasn't over it either.
Right.
So I just feel like there's enough substance there that I'm like, okay, you have my attention and this is interesting. And I'm always a sucker for the magazine format. I love that style format for these Black Label books. And yeah, I mean, Court of Owls, I think you're going to touch on them, but I think Court of Owls can take a little bit of a break.
Yeah,
not that it's been not like every single book. Actually, the last issue we just talked about had Court of Owls. Literally, the Batman Adventures Continue had Court of Owls in it, and yeah, there's somebody that
they're everywhere, dude. They
keep going to a little bit, and then this turns into some kind of Batman octopus monster thing, which is like, what the hell? But like I said, there's still enough there that had me like interested in the end. So what'd you think?
I actually have too many questions. Like this book just leaves me with a lot of questions. Like, who is this little boy? What's going on? What the hell is carrying him through the night? What's going on with Batman and Two-Face? Like, and then the art and then I kind of like the traditional, like we've seen these guys before. They've made a couple appearances, the shark, the bird, and the fox. I forget what the bird's actually called, but like they've popped up in comics.
The Terrible Trio.
Those guys, yeah, they've had quite the presence the past few months.
They have.
So it's cool to kind of see low-level guys like them getting a shot. I could do more with the Terrible Trio than I could do with the Court of Owls at this point. It's just fascinating overall. Like you said, the artwork's very interesting. I can see the influences from Arkham Asylum, but I can also see it's on its own. Like it does its own thing at the same time.
He talked to the one doctor when he got to and that's the same Ruth.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she was in Arkham Asylum smoking a cigar or a cigarette at the beginning too.
Okay, cool. I'm not a huge fan of Arkham Asylum. I kind of think it's overrated. Mm-hmm. Like, it's one of those Grant Morrison books where I'm like, God damn it, I don't have LSD to read this. So I'm just like, this is a lot easier. And I like the action. I think there's a good amount of action in the book early on too, especially. And I love what he he draws this, correct? It's all
He
him.
wrote and drew. Yeah, it's all
I
his.
like when Two-Face is around all that extra stuff around. Like, that's just interesting to me. I don't know why, but that kind of catches my artistic brain. There's always like another eye drawn outside, or there's like a little triangle, like
Yeah.
there's dots or something. Like it's never just Two-Face. It's like Two-Face through a lens. I don't
Mhm.
know like what that is all about, but I kind of dig it.
Yeah.
So
It's
I
a
just
it's a choice.
yeah.
Yeah, it's tight. I think I swear that you'd said something about that this I maybe just in talking to me, off mic of something with Aaron Eckhart.
He does.
Was
He
that
gives
was
me
that was
vibes.
this?
Yeah, like he looks like
Okay.
Aaron Eckhart's Two-Face,
Yeah.
don't you think?
Yeah. Definitely. A little
Like
blonder.
how many blonde Two-Face? How many blonde Harvey Dents have we ever had? I don't think
The
I don't.
Batman Earth 1 and then Dark Knight and then this.
So that's yeah. Like usually he's a very dark haired,
Yep. He's
brown
dark
haired,
haired.
black haired. Like so, yeah. So three.
Okay, dude. So, yeah. So, all right. So you're into this a little bit more than I thought. All right. Good for you,
Yeah,
Pete.
well,
That could
that's
all
what you get when
change
you-
the next book.
If I would answer the phone, you doing these things.
Oh gosh. Cool. So we'll see. And this is the next issue of this is supposed to drop December 12th. I
Oh,
actually
so we
saw
have a
that
wait.
online. Yeah. So we're gonna get I think it's gonna be like so Gargoyle of Gotham was, kicked off last month. This kicked off
Yeah.
this month. Next month is Gargoyle of Gotham. Following month is City of Madness. Following month is Gargoyle of Gotham. Like, I don't know if they're both 4 or if City of Madness is 3, but I'm pretty sure Gargoyle of Gotham was 4. So there you go. Also,
What
let's
about
see.
Holzman of the Sea? How many issues is that?
Ongoing?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because you can't close a chapter on that because he's adding to it every day. Also that Tuesday, Joshua Williamson, Simone DeMeo, Batman and Robin, #2, the debut of Shush.
There she goes. My girl's back
There you
in
go.
action. Oh, Kowalski.
The debut, but yet she's back in action. All right, take it away. You get to go first. You're very excited.
I had
about her.
fun with this. Like, she seems like a really cool villain. She actually seems a little bit more interesting than her father. I guess it's her father, or is it her uncle? Like, I don't know. Who the hell knows? I dug it. I was into it. Simone DeMeo's art is obviously interesting. His Killer Croc looks more like Drax than Croc. I feel like.
Oh yeah.
That
Mhm.
doesn't really look like Croc to me. Just
Yep.
looks like a big
I'm
old
with you.
dude with tattoos.
Yeah, and
but
who's a terrible trio?
Yeah,
Yet
see,
again.
like what's going on in DC editorial where everyone's using the same villains?
Yeah. Quarter
Like,
Vowels
what-
terrible trio. That's it. That's all we got.
What is going on? I don't like I said, the Turbo Trio have been around for in a long time, so I feel like I'm
Yeah.
like enjoying their comeback. But the Court of Owls never left. It's like I can't miss them if they don't go anywhere.
Wasn't that O'Neill and Adams?
Who did what?
Terrible trio?
I actually don't know. I don't know off the top of my
I
head.
thought Adams drew them. Maybe they're not the actual debut. By the end of us recording, we're gonna get to the bottom of this.
Someone
But,
will Google it. But I was into it. I don't know. Like this book seems fun to me. The whole dynamic of Bruce and Damian, and it seems to like him going to school is kind of fascinating. I really liked back in the day when Tim Drake was in high school and stuff, and I guess it was like a charter school. And Dick Grayson would visit him, Alfred would visit him a few days, stuff like that. So like I dig that. This is more like a public school affair,
Mhm.
but I think it's cool when Robin has to balance social life and like being a kid. And for and now since Damien's a little bit more likable as a character, this is interesting. I'm hey, I don't know. Shush seems she's all right so far.
Good old Shush.
Good old Shush.
Okay, they were created in 1958 by where we at? Oh my gosh.
Jeez.
I had just had their names. Sheldon
Hard to
Moldoff
find. Oh.
and I just had it here. What happened? Dave Wood. There you go. Dave Wood, Sheldon Moldoff, but I could have swore that Neil Adams did an issue with them too. Yeah, the art still isn't getting me. The coloring of it is still too odd. The story was okay. The kept in shadow, but it's Hush in the shadow, right? Isn't that your guess?
I mean, maybe.
Probably not.
Could it
That's what
be?
you want. They want you to definitely think, and then you'll be wrong next issue when it's somebody else. I had an issue with Damien in school, and this was like a throwback to early 2000s CW. I'm a cool kid in school, and look at me crouched on a desk and looking like a vampire with sunglasses and cool hair and jumping around and being really cool. Like, I don't know. It just felt so freaking hokey to me.
Oh,
That
that
was very
stand for
eye
CW
rolly.
slander.
Blah, blah. That was like, meh, like, I don't know. But there's nothing like, it's not like this is bad. It's just like, I don't know how long I'll last with the series, to be honest, because I'm just not fully
Wow, you really do
enjoying
hate
it.
Robin.
It's just 2 issues. I don't like Damien. It's just 2 issues, but also I'm not invested. Like, I'm just not invested at all. Uh, I I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll give this arc and then try another arc, unless it's on. I don't know. I'm not sold on this.
Really? I don't know. I like what Williamson's doing. I like the stepping stones early on. We're learning it. We're seeing that this school thing will come in conflict with Damien for a little bit, as his relationship with his father. I don't know. Just I'm really into it. I
That's
really
good.
enjoy it.
You know,
I'm so
for
happy
you.
there's a Batman and Robin book out on the stands. I love Batman and Robin. I feel like I'm in the minority these days. I feel like everyone hates Robin.
Well, there is such a it's Damien. Like, I don't know. It's Damien. I'm like, bah. I don't care. Which is weird because it's like Tim Drake going to school and stuff in any of the media, and I'm like, cool, all right, let's see what happens. And this one's just like, I don't care. I just don't care. I don't care. It's Damien. Blah.
I don't think you like Batman anymore.
Ouch. Well, you're forcing me at the Hulk book club, so catching up there, it's
Well, I mean, if you're
I'm
not
losing
reading
track of
Batman,
what's happening in Batman comics.
reading them X-Men books you've been reading lately.
Oh, those X-Men books, yeah.
How's X-Force, Ryan?
Task Force X. It's all connected. The following Tuesday, October 17th. Catwoman number 58 comes with a stipulation. It is part of the Gotham War.
That's not a stipulation, that's a treat.
So Batman, he's even on the cover. He's a major part of the overall story. Picks up right after the Batman 138, where Bruce is maskless, crying on the roof. It's interesting because that's where they left off the Batman issue. Catwoman's there. This one does a page of that, and she's surprised. And then it's like one panel where he's like, ugh. And then he's like, up, Kyle's on, forgive me, you came here to speak. And then it's like, it never happened. It's like, I don't do that. I'm Batman. I don't do that.
I mean, that's clearly he's going through some sort of psychological thing because he's got Skittles in his head.
He's very angry at Chip Zdarsky for keeping Zur-En-Arrh around.
Yeah, well,
it's infecting the pages.
That's why me and Javi haven't spoken in a while.
Yeah, he's coming for you. Watch out.
Yeah, Zurza zing zing zing.
This adds to it. I remember enjoying this issue. I was intrigued for sure about like I don't know if it was the Batman issue or not, but when it ends on that table of villains, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Let's bring some of these villains into play. That'll be fun. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
And the Jason thing is an element to it all. Of Batman did cross the line and infecting Jason's mind of if he's starting to think about doing something bad. Basically, it's like he gets infected with the fear toxin.
Yeah,
and
that
I'm
was
like,
weird.
I
still don't know why he did that. You
Yeah.
know, like what issue did he do that in? I actually don't remember. I thought he did it this month, but now I'm looking at Catwoman. It seems like it's already happened. I got a little confused. But
it wasn't in the Jason, the Red Hood one. It was last month. Either at the end of the Batman issue or the Catwoman, because I thought Catwoman last month was like, we got to find Jason.
Yeah, I think you're right. So then, like that part's a little weird to me, but then I think that's the part of having Zuzang Zing Batman stuck in his head.
Zuzang Zing.
Yeah,
better name than Zur-En-Arrh.
Whatever the hell that stupid thing's called. Like I think that's part of what's going on there. But I kind of like the whole like Batman's like, oh damn it, like I'm having a moment of weakness and I'm talking to Catwoman. He's like, oh, I can't do this. Like basically, it's like, oh, I can't be a bitch. I got to go back out there.
Yeah.
Like, all right, I'm going to keep my mouth shut put my cowl on and go save the city. And that's kind of,
I've got to go to work.
I've got to go to work, Catwoman. And then later on, we can get it in.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like this is just moves along the story. I like the big reveal with Lady Clayface. I'm glad she came back.
Yeah, that was cool. I like that.
And even though like I don't like what Batman's done to Jason, I kind of like what Jason's doing. Like, oh, I'm gonna run on this burning building. I can still save people. But like, even though he's like battling internal demons as he does this, and I enjoy the fight between Catwoman and Scandal and just all that jazz. It was like overall, like this is just a fun issue. Like I think Gotham War is pretty great. I really am. I'm really happy they did that.
And then at the end, it ends in good old Arnold Wesker's dressed as Batman with Scarface as Robin,
which is incredible. Which is absolutely
that's fun. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we're not done talking about Gotham War. I think we're going to talk about it 2 more times. I think so. Maybe 2 more times before our discussion is over, Pete. So stand by as we continue with Gotham. Next, Batman, Superman, World's Finest, number 20, The Return to the Kingdom Come universe.
Oh my God.
It's back.
It's
Whose
back.
turn is it? Is it your turn or my turn?
It's your turn.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's your show.
Okay. First off, Dan Mora, love that cover.
Yeah.
There's a variant cover. I don't know who did it, but it's this awesome one of, I mean, it's, it's almost an Alex Ross inspired, but it's, Batman and Superman from Kingdom Come. I think it looks awesome. It's a great cover.
Yeah. I like that.
Story overall, I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's fun. These are
first issue. Yeah. First issue, I don't know how many parts this arc's going to be. But I mean, kicks off with Flash going through basically the multiverse. And so, of course, anybody, like any of us comic book readers, are going to have a lot of fun of like those first 2 pages of all the multiverse like suits and stuff. So you're just picking out and you're like, oh man, that's BTAS. Oh, that's Future State, which
oh my God, he's running through
I'm seeming way too excited by saying Future State, but that's Future State Batman. And then the Dark Knights of Steel, they're speeding bullets. And then it's like, oh, there's Dark Knight Returns. There's Gotham after, Gotham guys like, it's a cool way to start it. But
there's
then
Lady Batman. Oh my God.
How it takes us, basically gets us to the Kingdom Come universe. Like, I just think it's an interesting setup and it's a cool setup. Just overall, like, really fun. And then it's just like, and then Dan Mora's drawing everything. And man, that he's good. he's really good.
He's very talented, isn't he?
Yeah. And the twist on what's his name, that was in an earlier arc, who they're going to find. Thunderman? Is that what he's calling himself in this? Or am I thinking something
Daniel?
else? Yeah. And how it does.
I don't remember what Daniel's superhero name is actually.
But he's when they find him and what he does to this woman, it's kind of like, whoa. And then it's a nice twist when he does see Superman and Batman. He's like, oh hey, blah, blah, blah. And then he has a twist for the the last page. And I'm like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Fun issue.
I really dug it. Like this whole run by Wade has been a lot of fun. Thunderman, yes, Thunderman is what Daniel goes by. And this seems more like this is more Justice League oriented. You have a little bit of Flash, you get some
absolutely
Black Canary, everything. So that's cool. I don't mind this being a larger thing. And I think what they're doing with the Kingdom Come universe is pretty interesting. I like how they were able to kind of go to the museum and kind of be undetected and kind of like, whoa, this is interesting. This is a whole new world, but we're older. Like, I kind of like how they're exploring the multiverse here, and I think Wade did a magnificent job. And I'm interested to see what's up with Daniel. Like, this is not what I expected.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he looks very Jason Toddy, even.
Yeah, exactly. Good call. Very cool. I'm curious. I feel like because it's returning to Kingdom Come, this isn't going to be a 2 thing. I think it's going to be like a 5-issue arc.
You think so? Okay, we'll see.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
I have no idea. Don't know.
Stick around. Return to the Lower Standard verse.
The Lower Standard verse.
It's covered in sugar.
Damn right. Raining Mountain Dew all over Fruity Pebble grass. It's the world I want to live in. All right. Lastly, on that Tuesday, October 17th, is the finale to Batman White Knight Presents Generation Joker number 6. Go ahead, Pete.
It was
Okay.
okay. Kind
It's
of let
okay.
me down a little bit.
Lay down a little bit.
I thought it started out really hot, and I'm just kind of, maybe the Murphy verse at this point is too much of a take for me. Maybe it's too far apart from what I think these characters are at their core, right? Like seeing kind of Wally West, Wonder Woman, and Green Lantern in street clothes kind of working for Lex is a little weird for me. Maybe it's just it's just too far out there for me. I think I think I need Murphy to kind of be reined in a little bit here.
Okay. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed this whole series. I thought it was a lot of fun. I think of all things White Knight, it would come in last. Like when it comes to the ranking system sort of deal. Because the other spin-off stuff, granted, Harley was 6 issues. I dug that one more than this.
Yes.
Red Hood, the 2 Red Hood story, I liked that more than this. Devon Freeze, I liked more than this. But it's like, but I still like this. I thought it was fun. And it does, like, it is a bit of, bridges the gap of if and when a volume 4 of the main story ever comes along. Gives a little context to characters that even if in that story Jackie and Bryce barely pop up a little bit, it's like, oh, but these 2 characters, them by now, that they can have more of an impact by popping up like a couple panels because you just got a 6-issue story with them, so they have history and and some weight to them. But I also I want to read this from beginning and read all of them through, because I am, by that revelation last month with what AI Joker, it's cool. I really like the idea of the AI Joker kind of thing, but also there's some where I have to pause and kind of be like, wait, how does this work again? And I think everything probably does connect, but I'm just thinking I have to have some pause to kind of really wrap my head around it again. And oh, okay, so wait, Two-Face is this monster thing at an amusement park, and why are we there again? What's he? Just taking some pause with that a little bit. But I don't think it's bumpy. It's just, I don't remember anything anymore. Who are you? What is this? What are we talking about?
Uxus.
Right. Okay, there you go.
Uxus, baby.
Welcome to the Hasbulla Fan Club podcast. Peter, your host.
Did you know Hasbulla is a cat guy? I don't know if you knew that.
Is he?
Yeah, he has a cat named Barsik. He likes to put him in a carriage and walk around Dagestan.
Well, good.
So maybe you and Uxus.
He's a cat man. He's a big Catwoman fan too. So okay. Well, this was the last chapter of the White Knight universe, and we don't know if and when the next one is coming. It could be quite a while. I don't know, but there you go.
Yeah, I'm good.
Elfine.
I'm good.
It's kind of like what you said with the Adventures Continue, of you could be like, man, I hope they hurry up and get to it or something. But it's but also there's nothing wrong with stuff of take a break, get the creative juices flowing, and then come back with the Adventures Continue season 4, in a year and a half or 2 years. Then it'll be well, we had time to miss it.
Yeah.
So yeah, there we go. We'll see if we
love,
come back to this
to
universe. What happens?
The Court of Owls and Batman of Skittles and sweets.
Sean Murphy announces White Knight Volume 4 with the Court of Owls.
It's just not even. Sorry,
that's
Sean,
for you,
I'm
Peter.
I'm skipping that one.
I'm out. I've had enough.
Dude,
out. Enough.
Yeah, dude,
enough. Let's see. October 24th. Pete, this is all you. Detective Comics number 1075.
Ooh, okay.
What you got?
This one wasn't so bad.
Okay.
Basically, there's still a lot of 6-eyed woman and werewolf guy running around doing their thing, but kind of towards the middle, the end of the story, there's this Catwoman's she confronts Gordon, and they're we've got to save Batman, and then Gordon reaches out to Montoya, and he's we've got to save Batman.
Wait.
So they all
I think
together.
you're thinking aren't you thinking of wait? That's the next one.
Is it? Maybe that was the one I liked. Okay.
Right. Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. We'll get to that in a minute. This was
this month.
The 2 detectives and Batman at the gravestone, and
Okay, no. I
the
got that's
flashback of like
76.
in Crime Alley.
All right, let me get 75 here because I only read them digitally now because they suck.
Yeah, it's good. I got you.
So I don't have it physically in my hand. But yeah, 1075. I gave it a D. Okay, because here, this is how it goes. What's his name? Francisco Francavilla, or whatever his name is.
Francavilla, yes.
Francavilla.
Love his art.
Fantastic interpretation of the art, but I think
Yep.
the story sucks, which is kind of just on par for what I think V's doing. I just think his story is just garbage. Like I just don't know what but 1076, I'm actually just gonna jump into. I thought that was a lot better. Just because, like I said, it seems like there's we've got to save Batman. Batman's kind of like been held hostage by these, I don't know, this red-haired guy who wants to buy Arkham Asylum, right? And the werewolf guy and his sister with 7 arms, 7 eyes. So like whatever, like that shit's still going on in the background. But like the saving of Batman stuff, I was like, this is good. And there's this really good Catwoman scene with Gordon where she's like trying to persuade him, like she's, Gordon's kind of just being like, oh, I'm kind of retired, kind of just hanging out at this bar, and I think all the interactions were good there. So like there's potential. I was like, oh, look, you can write good dialogue within like characters. Just stop making up your own. Like I was like, this is what everyone complained about Tynan doing, and I was like, it's finally happening. Like someone's creating characters I don't give a shit about, and his name's Ron V. So there's that. But yeah, 1076 was better than 1075. I wouldn't tell you to go out and buy either of them. So the only person who continues to support this volume of Detective Comics is Paul Herman. I think he buys
I was gonna say, here it comes.
Yeah, just real quick dig here at Paul Herman, because again, he's another one who doesn't like to return my phone calls. This show's all about me and people who don't return my phone calls today.
People don't return Peter's phone calls.
You're all getting called out. I'll never call out Chris Cloud, the man's a god. So
never.
Just
the professor.
So,
all right. So for both of these issues, I'm with you on a lot of it. I love Francesco Francavilla's art.
Oh yeah,
like no matter what he does, I love his art, and I love the coloring for this and stuff too. I didn't think that it was like too bad with the 2 policemen. It's just we were really latched onto the one like throughout it, and
I was
it's
like, who is this
why
guy
do
in the car?
why do I really care about him though?
Yeah.
And then the Batman talking to Bruce in the alley, I was really trying to wrap my head around like this just happened in a comic book. And I think
it actually just happened in Harley Quinn, the animated series.
Well, no, it happened in that, but then I think it happened in the was it Night Terrors, the summer event? Because I think it was
like it's similar. He's reliving the night of his parents'
the
murder.
The Gillum March illustrated like Batman titles. I think the second one even was him under the lamppost talking to Bruce like as Batman, and I'm like, we just had that, and I thought like in another comic, I thought we just had it recently too, and I'm like, we've been here before, like,
and recently
multiple times, and it just felt like it didn't add much new. That said, it's like I don't think that those parts are bad at all. I think they're illustrated well, and the point of them actually, I'm like, I think these are good and good dialogue.
If he did this probably like a year later, and I don't have those other 2 versions fresh in my brain because they just came out, he gets a pass for it. But now because I just feel like,
we just feel like we just did this. But the art was great. But then I'm with you of like, oh, then we got this zombie again in the 10-eyed woman and stuff, and I'm like, we're back to more stuff that I just don't like or care about. And anybody listening, sadly, has heard me like just say that all the time. They're probably tired of me saying it, and so I'm just like, I don't know, I'm tired of saying it. So
I'm tired of saying the art is the saving grace of this book. That's not a reason for me to like convince you to buy a comic. You need to have story.
It's a visual,
as important as art is, because it moves the story along, but they have to go hand in hand. And right now they're not. So I cannot recommend Detective Comics to anyone. If I wasn't getting these books for preview value, thanks to DC and Batman on Film, I would still be buying Detective because I want to see if it gets better. But because I have that option, I can save some coin. And I'm going to try to save you guys some coin as well. Don't buy this book. It sucks.
1076, I'm with you. I did like the gathering of almost like Seven Samurai, of gathering a group to go save Batman. I liked that aspect of it. I thought that's
what's holding me on.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, this is cool. It was a double-sized issue though, and I told you that, and I think you almost had a heart attack. But then halfway through the issue ended, and then it was like a couple of short stories. I didn't read any of them. I don't need to read anything about Azrael. I tried.
I pulled my Lauer card. I was like, I'm not doing this.
I
I'm not Ryan
tried
Haas.
with it one, and I was just like, nah, I'm good.
But
So
I believe this is Azrael's big return into the Batman world. I don't think he for Dawn
yeah,
of
but I
DC
don't
at
care.
least.
But man,
Ryan
again, I
Haas
don't
does, so he
care.
has to know. Ryan Haas
Yeah.
cares. So I believe this is Azrael's first big forte into the Dawn of DC world, which is now kind of in full force. So
I want to
I
care.
could expect to see more Azrael. He
wanna
dominated the backup stories. He was in like 2 of them.
I want to care, and I want to like Batman stuff. I do. But Pete, you and I don't come on here to lie. We say, hey, this is how we feel as big fans and reading, and Detective is not doing it, and it sucks that it doesn't do it for me.
It does, because it's Batman's title. That's the
Yeah,
title.
I want like
Even more than Batman.
I want to enjoy it, and I'm just I'm not, and I haven't been for a long time, and it is like last thing I read before we do these, because I'm just like, I don't want to do this. It's like, well then don't. And I'm like, but me and Peter committed. So anyways, there you go.
I'm not going to give out on a good run because I know a good run's coming, and I'm not going to let Javi review those issues. I'm stuck it out this book.
You've taken your lumps. Let's move along to Batman the Brave and the Bold #6. This one, I don't know what's going on with the Joker Batman story. Like that has one more part, and then which I don't know where it is. So this one started a new one called Batman Pygmalion. Let's see, Gillum March. I need to check that out if it is an L or if it's like a Y pronunciation of Guillaume or Gillum. I don't know. Looks like he did the story and the art. Art was great. This too seems almost a little familiar of like Batman lost his memory, didn't know how he's Batman, so he's trained to be Batman again. I'm like,
when did this come out again? I gotta pull up the digital. When did it come out?
This came out October 24th.
24. Okay. I thought it was interesting watching him with the amnesia, with the little girl and the Robin, because it's
definitely
he's
not bad.
He's been here before, but at least he's like, it's like he's not in some other world, right?
Yeah,
where everything's different, and the Joker's like this businessman, and like Lex.
It's not what just
thing.
happened in Batman.
Yeah, it's different enough for me, because then by issues then Catwoman's like, ooh, what's going on? And I'm like, is this part of Gotham War? Like, what's going on? Because like it's like he did just kind of like fall, and she's kind of cradling him. Like I was like, is this before that? Like, when did this happen? I was trying to piece it together in mind. I thought it was interesting, but at the same time, like, this guy's not Batman.
Yeah,
I don't think this guy's actually Bruce Wayne. I think by the time we figure out the end of the story, I don't think this is Bruce Wayne.
Well, it kind of is Bruce Wayne, because look, he's getting it in.
Well, he's just a good-looking guy, and she's a single mom.
I liked his moments of like going and basically stepping in and taking down the landlord and stuff, like all like those little moments. But yeah, I don't know. It's like interesting.
I'm going on the limb that he's actually not Bruce Wayne, and it's just some guy who looks like him, and they think he's Batman.
That would be very interesting.
Like, I know he appeared on their fire escape dressed as Batman, but I don't know. It feels like someone in editorial has to be like, these stories are too similar, guys. You guys can't be doing this stuff, right? Yeah. So in order for them to actually publish this, I feel like it's got to be different, right? Or am I just trying to force that?
No, I think you're onto something. I liked it, didn't love it, and it was on my mind of like, well, I feel like we were here recently. So that kept it back a little bit for me. But the black and white story at the end, the performance written by Sean Lewis, art from Javier Fernandez, I thought that was really cool.
It was okay. I enjoyed it.
The art was great. I think there's an awesome Batman shot of Batman like in the back right after he got suited up. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. But overall, I thought like I liked these black and white stories in the backup of these. I think they've been a lot of fun. Basically, they've created like Batman Black and White Volume 6 or whatever they're up to now.
That's probably what they'll be printed as in trade.
Yeah, which hey, go for it. I'll buy that.
I'm still not buying this book overall because I think there's not enough Batman for me to buy it. I don't like what they're doing with Ravager at all. I would just flip through the story. To see Rose I was like, when did Rose really get into like this alien stuff? Like, I was just kind of really interested in that. Not like I'll actually go find out, but I'm just kind of curious. And then like, what was the third story about? Like, was that Black Canary? I don't know.
I don't read those.
I couldn't even. Yeah, but like
this.
I flip through it though. I'm not reading it, but I'm flipping through it.
I skip right
And
to
it's like,
Batman.
what's going on here? And then she like kills Captain Boomerang. I just don't get that. And then by the time the black and the white story pops up, I'm kind of phased out. So I don't really,
Gotcha.
I'm probably not giving it the fair shot. But Batman the Brave and the Bold, I refuse to buy. I will stand my ground, and I will not participate in that because I don't think it's worth the money.
There you go. Yeah, I look forward to the wrap up of the Tom King story and Mitch Garrett's story, the Batman and Joker one.
I bet you they'd make you
like
drag that out another 2 months.
We'll see. Like I don't know. I don't know. It's crazy. Let's see. Ooh, then
As an ooksis.
The penultimate issue, Peter, October 24th. Batman, Catwoman, The Gotham War, Red Hood, number 2. That's a title.
This.
Just
enjoyed
rolls
this even more.
right off the tongue. Written by Matthew Rosenberg, which you and I big fans of that guy.
Yeah.
And Enter the Joker on this one, which is actually kind of fun. But then it was also like, see how it all wraps up in Joker, the man who stopped laughing. And I'm like, wait, what? How much of this is all connected now? It's all connected, Peter.
Well, it's very much connected. And that's what I like about this. If you're going to connect something, at least do it with style and grace like Rosenberg and not like Feige. You know, like I appreciate that the Joker from which Joker is it? You don't even know. It follows like it's like a big question in Gotham. There's 2 Jokers, and then later we find out there's actually more Jokers because Bruce says there's 3 somewhere.
Everybody's a Joker.
Yeah, and this seems to be like This seems to be like Jason Todd, like just full force vengeance. In this issue, and I thought it was really funny how Rose was like, "Yo, Jason, you want to get it in?"
Yep.
I was like, good for Rosenberg. I feel like most writers wouldn't try to do something stupid like that these days, which is awesome. So I enjoyed that. This is much more my taste for Ravager, kind of her in real life situation, but yeah, I don't know. Like I've thoroughly enjoyed everything about this, and here this is where we see Bruce really kind of take effect of what he did to Jason. It seems like,
yeah,
but the heightened adrenaline and stuff like that. So it's interesting that he picked out Jason for this to do. Like, it's like the one thing I didn't like about Gotham War, but it's like I'm like, man, this Zerzan Zah thing is really kind of affected him. And Solomon Grundy's in this book. Like, it's this thing is everything I want in a comic. Let's be honest.
It's got it all.
It's got it all.
Yeah. Then Scarecrow even pops in at the end and does some mayhem. So
I've enjoyed.
Yeah, I thought it was fun. I thought it was fun. Like in the end, just kind of what I thought was just like a fun entry in the overall story. I wasn't waiting for like the emotional WTF impact, what twist or anything like that. It was just like, oh, okay, this is a fun tie-in for a very long title.
Yeah,
Batman, Catwoman, The Gotham War, Red Hood, number 2. We'll zoom ahead to Halloween, October 31st. We already talked about your favorite issue, Detective Comics 1076, but we can talk about the wrap-up of that story. Batman, Catwoman, The Gotham War, Scorched Earth, number 1. Still dumbest titling of all 8 parts of this. But I feel like, I don't know. They'll just continue doing it, though. But the exclamation. But if people want to follow along, how are you going to follow along unless you're totally looking it up? They don't make it easy.
Okay. Gotham War's in the title. Here we go. This is all follow. What do you mean? Just.
But how do you know which one's first? Which one? But okay, Pete and I'll battle.
You're talking like a lazy man here. Just do some work.
Shut your mouth.
Don't be lazy.
All right. There is a war in Gotham, so it lives to the title. And I liked it. I thought it was cool. I'm still not the biggest like on Scarecrow's design. I know Jorge Jimenez designed it. This looks, I think it's not as exaggerated as Jimenez's. But I'm a big Scarecrow fan, but I mean, this was basically, unite everyone, we're all together, best friends, let's do this. I thought it was a fun finale.
I thought this thing was great. I thought it was action packed. I thought it really moved the story along. It concluded the story. It really lets you in on what Vandal Savage was doing. Why did he buy Wayne Manor? Why is he doing this? Friggin' purple Batman pops up once again to try to ruin the story.
Almost slipped there.
Yeah, I did. It just really gets me angry when I see that stupid thing. But I dig how Batman rallied the troops, all that jazz. I liked how I dig the whole Gotham fighting with in the streets with the fear toxin out there.
Yeah.
I like everything with the meteor. I like how it ties into Ra's al Ghul and with Vandal Savage. And like I'm very interested actually come book's end of the final phone call. And like I love Jason Todd here, just literally going in there like Keaton in the Flash, like here we go. I'll go after the big one. I dig that. I think the Catwoman twist was interesting. For a second there, I kind of believed it until the end because I was like, "Oh, you got me! Oh, can't trick me twice." I thought that was cool. I thought it was compelling. I can't believe they did that. And then, then they did the other thing where what's his name comes back. You're like, "Whoa, you guys twist and turns! I'm digging it." I had a lot of fun. And Lauer's like, "No, I just like Batman by himself with his magnifying glass and possibly Alfred with some cold soup." So Lauer doesn't like having any fun.
All right.
And it's Vichy Swag, by the way.
All right, so you just corrected yourself. Okay, good. But yeah. With Yana Doll, what was it? Vandal's twist on scandal. How savage. There's your headline.
That was like 4 issues ago, though.
I will say that happened in this one. See, you even got him confused. That happened in this one.
No,
where she wanted part of the no, like where she wanted in on some of like the media or whatever, and he's like, "No, be first." She's like, "But," and then he stabs her.
Oh, I thought you meant the name relief, like it was Hush and Hush. I was like, no, we knew her name was Scandal.
Vandal Scandal, the Savages, starring Vandal and Scandal.
Well, Bane's daughter's name is Vengeance.
All right, it all makes sense.
I had no. Did you know that all these villains had daughters? By the way,
yeah, I mean,
pumping out kids.
I was just gonna say, like, what was the line you had a long time? Everybody's getting it in, like even the villains,
even the villains. The only things I didn't like about the end of the story is one, it goes to the trope where Batman's like, "I can't be Batman anymore, Dick. You've got to take up the mantle and try this again." And then there's this stupid like, "By the way, I have a metal hand." I'm like, "Oh God, Zdarsky, you're an idiot."
Oh yeah, the good old metal hand. And then I mean, this is Zur infecting your brain. I'm sure. We can get to the root of it all if you'll just let us know. It's not Zur. And then you've got the nice little bubble. It's not me. And I'm like, oh, God. It's coming. Like, I know there's the whole big Zernar thing coming out.
But like I said, by issue's end, I kind of like the Batman Riddler interaction.
Yeah.
I know there's 3 Jokers, Enigma. Like, oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
And then there's an editor's note to Justice League 50 from like 4 years ago. I was like, oh, okay.
Remember
So it's
in
not
2015 or 2016 or
so you're not referencing 3 Jokers, you're referencing the Jeff Johns book that came out like 4 years earlier.
Yep. All right. Jeez.
Which I actually don't believe was what I don't think that was the actual information that he received from the Mobius chair. If I'm not mistaken. I think it was something else, and they changed it to be the 3 Jokers.
It's been a while since I've read it. It's been a while.
Well, yeah, because Ryan, I was like, I don't read
okay. All right.
Go Michigan.
And then it ends with good old Goon figuring out Bruce Wayne is Pop now.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. It was like, Catwoman told us to steal from the rich. Let's keep doing it. Oh wait, no way.
I'm gonna steal his I'm gonna steal the other car.
No, sir. The other car.
Journey. All right, that'll do it on the main books, Pete. So we have to wrap up now to the heavily anticipated segment of
Batman!
Penultimate issue, Pete. Yet again. Did you say stupid?
Lauer's most hated segment.
Oh, most hated. Okay.
I was like,
well, I mean,
God, sidekicks.
Maybe.
Everyone knows real Batman solo Batman.
Maybe. It's Joker, the man who stopped laughing. Number 11. The issue before the final issue, Pete. I'm not going to lie. And maybe it was because I'm tired or something. I got a little confused. I was like, wait, which Joker?
What are you confused about?
Wait.
Isn't that great? I love it. I'm not confused. I don't think I'm confused. I think I'm exactly where Rosenberg wants me to be.
Because, I mean, the opening one is a Joker in a coat and then a yellow hoodie. And then it cuts to the meeting of the Joker in the purple and green with an umbrella. And then he's talking to Firefly and is like, you missed the meeting. And then later on, they're out in the streets of Gotham, and it's the yellow hoodie Joker, but he's with Killer Moth. And I'm like, wait, what? How is this? Which one? It's non-hoodie that was with Killer Moth, like that kind of stuff. So I
Yeah,
kept going
I
back and
know.
forth of
It's
like,
great.
wait, which one is which?
I've been
And
flipping through.
and then it ended on a fun note of basically just kind of being like, I'm not him, you're him. No, you're him. And it's like, you won't know who's who until the next issue.
I think this is great. This might be Rosenberg's best work since I've really kind of.
I think so too.
Fall in
Like
love with it.
we really liked Task Force Z. I thought that was great. And then what was the
Which was mentioned in one
What's
of the Batman Catwoman specials.
the backup story? It was, yeah. The backup story with the kid and detective when the Arkham Tower stuff. Rosenberg
Yeah,
did
that was good
and
too.
that was great.
That was good too.
But yeah, I'm with you. I think this is the one.
I can't wait till this gets collected because I would love a nice hardcover.
Mhm.
Put it right next
Yeah.
to my three Jokers.
Volume
my
one's
killing jokes.
been released in hardcover.
This
with a
this
great
may go
Vermeil
down as my
cover on
favorite
it.
Joker story.
Oh my gosh, Peter! Wow,
I think so. I think
wow.
so.
Okay, so you're a fan.
Wow. I'm a big fan. Oh,
This
yeah.
is why we do. This is why we do Batman and Friends.
Yeah, this is why I convinced Laura to do Batman.
Yeah, this is all Peter.
I don't like this stuff. It's not Batman and his magnifying glass. That's specific. I was very specific.
Batman and Friends. But all right, so we're both fans. Not
Big
surprising to anybody. I don't see how he
Huge.
botches the landing at all next month. I think he's gonna nail it, and it's gonna.
Can
be
you imagine if
fun
he
and
did?
fun.
Imagine if it was like his worst.
And that's a good
issue
joke.
ever.
Like that, and it was just a total joke for him.
Yeah. It's like,
Like,
oh no, I'm
nailed it.
teasing you. Here's the real issue. I'm like, well, Rosenberg's
Do that.
really falling in
Do
love with
that.
Joker right now.
Really has. It's infected his mind.
Can you imagine
Wow.
buying the book, opening up, and it's blank? It's just a big trick.
Wow. And then like the joke that it's like you have to go hold it under a black light or something. I don't know. All these ideas.
That'd be cool for like April Fools. You know,
Yeah.
DC Comics released the black light edition.
The
of
black light label. Black light label. This one, I don't know if you got around to reading it or not. I actually did. It was pretty late in the game. And I Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong.
I did actually. I was able to get it in.
You got to do it. And Bruce / Batman, he's on the cover in the Batwing, but he was only in this issue very little. This was a pretty much like Justice League book with Superman being the star, but I thought that this was a lot of fun. It felt very
I enjoyed
much
it.
Legion of Doom, Super Friends, and then they end up on Skull Island. And I don't know. I was like, man, this is fun.
Yeah,
It was just fun.
I enjoyed all the the Justice League stuff. I enjoyed all the Legion of Doom stuff. It was cool how they introduced them into the world of Godzilla vs Kong was interesting. That explains it. It seems like I don't know if it was it was a boom tube, right? And they started using Mother Box.
Mother Box.
So I thought that was cool. I got a little vibe of Batman. Was it Fortress?
Yeah.
We read it too long ago because I was like, oh wow, well, here we go. Lex is back at it again.
Except all the chins look normal.
Yeah,
All the faces look normal.
but I got a little vibe of that, and I was very surprised at how good that issue was.
Yep, I'm with you because I was like, I'll give it a shot, and then I ended up like, yeah, I really dug it and thought it was a lot of fun. And this is just a total setup issue too, because there was not much, Godzilla and Kong versus Ing, but it was whatever that big skull creature that Kong is like taking on. That I was like, all right,
The
that's
Skull
cool.
Crushers.
I remember that.
That's what John C. Ridley called them. Skull.
And then how Grodd is just like gravitated toward Kong, like, oh,
Yeah.
like that was a nice touch. I thought it was fun.
Kong is like, what is this tiny ape?
Yeah. The yeah, I don't know. I think it's gonna be 6 issues, and I thought that like, I don't know, good start. We'll see.
I enjoyed it.
Another one that I read, your boy Oswald Cobblepot, Penguin #3.
Oh, Ozzy.
This was his version of gathering a posse, in his like great manipulative way. And then whatever this group was,
The Force of July.
there you go, 4th of July. I'm like, well, that's just like
Totally ridiculous. What I loved it.
ridiculously
I loved every second.
fun. Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then all their names for it and stuff too. Major Victory. and Sparkler was one and stuff too, and all that. I don't know. I was like,
I was like, you really had a lot of fun with this, Tom King.
this is a little bit more ridiculous than the previous two issues, but I thought like it was still fun, and it's building. Like it's totally building toward something too. So it kept stuff going along. I thought it was fun.
Yeah, this is top tier Tom King. Like when he actually writes words, he writes so well.
When he writes words.
No, because like I mean, you all remember that issue with Batman running on rooftops. All he did was grunt. Like I feel like there's like 12 issues of that in his Batman run. Like, but when he actually has dialogue, it's fascinating. It's brilliant. It's just I love the story. I can't wait to see. I love how the Help is involved. I'm interested in the Force of July, and I cannot wait to see how Oswald forcefully takes Gotham City back.
He's gonna get Gotham back.
Yeah, I can't wait. Like I'm all for this.
Well, we already saw it in the Penguin One Bad Day.
Oh shit! What?
A bullet and a gun. And lastly, Nightwing 107, Pirate Nightwing.
Yeah, this is okay. It's just okay.
Yeah, I thought it was okay.
It's not bad. It's just it's good storytelling.
It's okay. It's fine. But because I've been committed since Tom Taylor took over Nightwing and read it, and it's mostly been like really comfort food, enjoyable.
Yeah, I keep reading it unless it gets consistently.
Overrated. Oh.
Well, yeah, because everyone's talking about like, oh my god, it's magnificent. I'm like, it's good. That's it. It's just good. Like this is not
to consistently be good and fun is hard these days, though.
Yeah, I'll give him credit, but I'm just saying I'm not about to put this up in like this is not like top 5 Nightwing run. It's just steady Eddie,
Gotcha. Okay. All right. What do you got?
I'm a little disappointed in the quality of Harley Quinn books. So
you've told me that much. I'm just like, man, these Harley Quinn books.
They're just stuff. So I dropped the main Harley book because I wasn't enjoying it, and I've been picking up the other ones right now, like Harley Quinn Black, White, and Redder #4. I was just kind of like, I don't know, digging this anthology book. I'm thinking I'd have to drop it entirely. Like the cover was cool, but outside of that, I feel like Harley's kind of having a dip. And
it started off good, didn't it?
Yeah.
Didn't you like the first issue?
Yeah, it was right, but it's like they're different writers every issue, so it's just a crapshoot every time. And Poison Ivy 15 was pretty interesting, so check that out. Killer Croc is really in the rotation these days, so he's another one who's just kind of getting cycled around Bat books, and he's
taking on the Court of Owls and the Terrible Trio. 3-way death match.
But I've been enjoying the Ivy book, so check that out.
Cool.
Yeah,
that's it.
All I got.
That's all we got.
Ooksis.
All right. Well, I don't know. Like I think the load gets a little lighter next month. Not much though. So I guess hang in there and we'll see. We'll see what all we got next week.
Yeah,
next
sure.
month.
Whatever. That works.
Yeah, sure. Pete, you want to come back another month? Want to read more?
I mean, you better start answering my phone calls.
Okay. We'll see. This is the last you've heard of Peter Verra on the Batman book.
Yep. Replacing me will be like Stephen Claiborne from Minnesota, host of the Batman Utility Belt podcast.
All right. Done.
There you go.
Also got to get that Hasbulla one launched. Get up and running.
Yeah, I mean, we'll find it.
Pete, why don't you go ahead and plug away?
If you want to follow me on social media, you could follow me on Twitter, Instagram, or is it X? It's X now. At Pete Illustrated. You can follow one podcast. It's Straight Outta Gotham podcast. I co-host with the champion of Long Island, Eric Holzman. That's straight_O_G on Instagram and Twitter. We have a Facebook group and a Facebook fan page. Consider joining both. And check out my other podcast, the Italian Spider-Man Coalition podcast, at Italians for Spidey on Twitter, because we just dropped a new episode, and that should be in your feeds. So check that out, as I have some wonderful guests to talk cartoons and comic books and all that jazz. And every month I appear on Ryan Lauer's The Batman Book Club.
Oh, never heard of it.
If you ever heard of that podcast, it's a good podcast. Talk about comic books and stuff. So that's where you can find me. And finale, BatmanOnFilm.com and Batman Film YouTube.
All right. Damn.
Peter
Verra. Straight Outta Gotham.
Very Ryan Lauer.
Champion Long Island. As for the Batman Book Club, make sure that you follow on Twitter and Instagram at the Batman BC for latest episode drops, upcoming episodes, sometimes some giveaways. And actually, November is going to be a pretty busy month around these here parts. So you'll want to check out Instagram or Twitter and see See what's coming, because there's quite a bit coming. With
Ryan told me
Gentleman,
for Thanksgiving this year he was going to cook a roasted bat instead of a turkey.
pretty much. I'm gonna stuff it with Fruit Loops. It's gonna be great, delicious.
That's my pal Lauer.
There you go. Also, subscribe to the Batman Book Club YouTube channel, where Pete and I have a whole backlog of the Road to No Man's Land omnibus that we went through, as well as some other video episodes. And Pete and I will. I know I keep saying it, but we are gonna hop into No Man's Land. We're gonna get there.
We're gonna get.
We're busy. We're busy. But we're gonna. Pete had me by the omnibus, so I'm definitely gonna read it. So,
and if you know one thing about the Sugar King of South Bend, he's gonna read it.
South Bend.
That's right.
Okay, a little far off, but
Lauer, you're where I tell you are.
Okay. If you want to support the show, there's a variety of ways you can do that. Like I said at the top, patreon.com/thebatmanbc, tpublic.com, type in TBBC for the Batman Book Club. But if you want to support the show and you don't want to spend any money at all, it's 100% A-OK. Quickest, easiest, most impactful thing you can do is what Pete does, and frolic to the rate and review board of every single podcast provider. So Apple, Amazon, Spotify, iHearts, radio, wherever. Go to the rate and review page and rate and review the show, because the more reviews the show gets, the more it helps spread the word. And as we all know, the word is
panic.
Yay, all right. And Uxus and Hasbula, whatever Pete wants it to be. So yeah, there you go. So for Peter R. Verra, I am Ryan Lauer. Hopefully you enjoyed the spooky month and Halloween. And until next time, remember.